And we are live. Yes, we have a new team co-pilot, and I think a really rock star session today because we have Priyanka. I think I announced your name well, right?
You did. You did.
Great. I'm so excited that you are here and that you going to share your knowledge with us because what are you going to share?
First, thank you so much for having me over here. I have connected with you, been connected with you for some time. It's been exciting seeing your work and interacting with you over LinkedIn and even outside of LinkedIn. It's been amazing to see. Yeah, to tell everybody a little bit about myself. Hi, everybody. I am Priyanka. I do have a long name. My name is Kumari Priyanka Wadia, but I go by Priyanka. There's a whole story behind it. If you want to know, just message me. So I have been with Microsoft. It's going to be 12 years next February, actually. And I have been supporting Dynamics 365 business applications and Power Platform all these years, and now Copilot. So it's been amazing. It's been amazing seeing the growth of the Microsoft products and how we started with Copilot, how it has grown, how it's part of our entire ecosystem. So it's kind of seeing like your baby grow up. So it's been amazing. And currently, I am working as an AI business solution engineer within Microsoft. So I interact a lot with customers over Copilot. So we discuss day in, day out. I'm interacting with Microsoft customers from different industries about how they can utilize Copilot, how Copilot is beneficial to them, how to realize value for the Copilot that they are already using. So it's been amazing. Every single day, it's fun. You hear something new. Copilot has just opened the doors of, curiosity, imagination, and, has just made work easier, has just made your day easier, your life easier, your work life easier. Trust me, I feel it myself every single day. So I'm sure everybody is.
Oh,
So,
that's exact where your question is all about, right? And where are you based?
oh, so yes, I am based out of Dallas, Texas. It's still hot over here. Uh, I'm yet to see any signs of fall, but hopefully it should happen by end of month.
Oh, nice. Good luck. I give the floor to you, and thank you so much for doing this for us.
Awesome, for sure. Yeah, so let's get started. So I wanted to talk about Copilot across our ecosystem. So Femke has done a great job. She keeps you updated on what's happening in the Copilot world. Now, Copilot is pretty much everywhere throughout our ecosystem. It's there in each Microsoft product that you might be aware of. So it's typically you might know Copilot something you can access on the web, something that's part of M365. But there's more to that. It's not just over there. It's pretty much built within all our products across the different categories landscape that we have. So as you can see on the screen, it's a lot. Yeah, we have business applications, modern work, data and AI. So you have all these different products which are being consumed by different roles in an enterprise. Different people are using different products. So Copilot is present in them in some way or form, helping them do their job better. Now, as I talk about how does Copilot help each role, and this is what I try to do in this slide, to segregate it in different categories, aligning to different kind of roles that a person holds within a company. What kind of Copilot would they be interacting with? And then we'll dive a little bit into what everything looks like. First, I feel like for every Copilot, you need a separate session. Like 30 minutes for one Copilot is also not enough. So I'll try to touch on some of the important ones, some of the fancy ones today, to give you an insight into what exactly it does, what does it look like, how is it helping whoever is consuming that Copilot, and why you should think about using it as well. Now, looking at this slide, like I mentioned, different roles in a company uses different Microsoft products. So, as an enterprise user, you might be using Microsoft 365 products every day. I do it. I look into my Outlook for emails every day. I access my chats in Teams. I'm attending so many meetings in Teams every day. I'm collaborating with my team across teams with SharePoint and OneDrive. I have a lot of documentation in there. Now, some specific roles like salesperson, marketing professional, customer support professionals as well. They work within business applications, which is Microsoft Dynamics 365. Developers are using Visual Studio, GitHub. We have low code or citizen developers who are building and maintaining Power Platform products. So there are all these different roles within an enterprise which are using all these different products within the Microsoft ecosystem. Now, Copilot within all these products is going to act as an AI assistant for you. For all those roles, it's going to work with you hand in hand. It is going to support all those roles to be better at, first of all, making sense of data. I think the whole point is there's just a lot of data. There's just a lot that you have to get through. So it's helping you make sense of everything. It's helping you get to those faster. So that's what you'll see Copilot doing in every product. And for me, I would say it has definitely cut down a lot of mundane tasks through my everyday life. Like going back to when I used to have meetings with customer and I used to write a lot of things on my notepad. I had to write it down or either on my OneNote. Trust me, I have a lot of OneNotes. So I used to do that. Now I don't have to. I'm fully focused on the meeting. I'm hearing the customer. I am looking at them, making eye contact, having that back and forth conversation, and not worried about whether I wrote what they were saying. Because Copilot is there as my assistant, helping me record those important information, and I can later on ask Copilot for that important information to build on to what I just had the conversation on. So let's go ahead and dive a little bit into some of these Copilots. Okay, so now before we dive into any enterprise use cases, I think let's look into how Microsoft Copilot is generally helpful for everyone. So we talk a lot about, like for me being a person from Microsoft who talks to, customers and companies who are about to adopt Copilot or have adopted Copilot. But in general, Copilot is being consumed every day with general consumers, with people, they don't have specific licenses, they don't attach to a company, but they just use Copilot from an everyday assistant standpoint. Now you can access Copilot free on your website. You also have a mobile app. You can go to your Play Store, App Store, and download on your mobile app as well and interact with it. So you can just go about asking your everyday life questions to it. You can just go ahead and ask, hey, you have an upcoming trip, how it can help you plan that trip. I recently conducted a workshop in an AI expo for some of the educators and nonprofit folks. Now, they had very interesting use cases. Now, when you think about educators, they are interacting with teachers and students, and they have all these, questions like, hey, can you help me draft a format for, how to explain this subject? Help me draft an email for parents. Help me draft an email for the teacher association. So there are all these small things that they need help with. So we did discuss some of those use cases as how they can use this Copilot version, for which they don't actually have to, go ahead and pay something, but they can just go ahead and access it today and interact with it and consume it on an everyday basis. Now, moving forward, I wanted to just show this because I was pretty excited about it when it happened. Now, Copilot is within your laptop as well. So some of you who might have bought a new laptop, you might see a Copilot button on your keyboard, so it's easily accessible. It does a lot on your laptop. It helps with a lot of things. So you have the Copilot features across your desktop. You can see, you can just go ahead and ask it to change your desktop to dartboard, so you don't have to look for, hey, where's that setting? You can just ask Copilot to do that. So it sits in your machine as well today. Okay, now let's dive into the enterprise mode. Now let's talk a little bit about Copilot for M365. I think this is the most common, most consumed Copilot product, and something I think everybody knows. Even if they don't know rest of the Copilot stack, they definitely know Copilot for M365. Now, uh, and why do they know it? Because if you're in an enterprise, every single day you are reading your emails, you are interacting with people over Teams, you are storing document in SharePoint, in OneDrive, you're writing something in OneNote, you are making PowerPoint, you have Excel spreadsheets. These are some of the Microsoft products you have already been working with from a very long time. You spend your days within it. So now you see a Copilot over there, which is just making the same process easier for you. So Copilot in M365 basically connects to your work data through Microsoft Graph, and which means I can go back and ask it like, it's Friday today, but maybe I won't do it today. Oh, I actually do it. By end of Friday, I have a scheduled prompt with my M365 Copilot chat where I ask it to look into all my emails and meetings for the week and tell me if something is pending, because end of Friday I don't want to leave something, maybe I missed it, it just, I read that email but I forgot to respond, or there was an action item on me from a meeting where I said, hey, I'll do this for you, or I'll send you this. So Copilot will help me quickly, within seconds, not even minute, within seconds, it will help me go through all that data and tell me, hey, these are some of the things you said you're going to do, go ahead and check whether you have completed it. And it is so helpful, because I've definitely been in situations where on Saturday and suddenly you remember, oh, I had to do something this yesterday. On Monday, when you are back to work, you're like, oh, I missed doing this last week. So it's helped me in those situations, definitely. Now, the best part, it's built with enterprise grade security and data protection. So when you think about why my M365 Copilot, so it's not just about getting to your data, you do get the security and data protection as well. So it's not like you are accessing something you shouldn't have access to. You'll always see what you're supposed to see. You're not getting any extra visibility through Copilot. So it's maintaining the security as you would expect from Microsoft. So Copilot is not just a chat interface where you can, go ahead and ask it X number of things. It's also embedded in the product. So you will see it within your Word, within your Excel, within Outlook, Teams, everywhere, wherever you're spending your day, it's there, being your AI assistant. Now, looking into M365 Copilot, it does provide you a dedicated app. So I have a dedicated app which I have on my desktop, which I interact with a lot, where I can go ahead and ask it questions like, hey, where is this document? Can you summarize meetings with this particular company from, whenever, like maybe I had 10 meetings with them in past 1 year, it'll actually help me summarize everything. I can go ahead and ask those questions from Copilot. You can also have other functionalities. So this desktop app that you have for M365 Copilot, beyond that, you have things like notebooks. Notebooks is something that's going to help you segregate your project. So you're asking all these questions, you have all these documents that you are giving it to actually analyze, so you can segregate that. You also have access to agents. Now, agents is a whole elevated picture from Copilot. Agents just opens up another world. So you do have access to some of the out-of-box agents that Microsoft provides, like analysts and researchers. So those are some of the reasoning agents that we have that you can access, but you can also go ahead and connect to some of the third-party agents that's published in the App Store. Now, you can go ahead and, like I mentioned, you can also feed your documents to Copilot to make sense of your data. So you can actually ask it, if you have like a big PPT and, like it happens, you have like 50 to 60 slides long PPT and you're like, I have 10 minutes to understand this. So you can ask Copilot to summarize and highlight the key points for yourself. Creativity. It also embraces creativity. So you can use this part of M365 Copilot as well, where you can bring in your company's branding and go ahead and be creative. Mobile app, like I mentioned, this app is also on your mobile, so you can look it up. You can open your phone right now. You can open your app store, Google Play Store, and you can look up the Copilot app, and you can access it on your phone as well. So uh, I have not used it a lot, I would say, but I have used it on important moments where I need access to some kind of information, while on the go. Like I can quickly ask Copilot on my phone. I can go ahead and ask it, hey, can you tell me about particular information about this meeting I had with this particular company? So it's definitely something that has helped me in some particular situations. Now, looking forward into these M365 apps where you have Copilot today. So I'm just highlighting some of the key feature set from Outlook. Like in Outlook, I feel like Outlook is some where you actually spend a lot of time. You're definitely opening it. It's the first thing you open, like you go ahead and see how many emails, who sent me an emails, what's important, what do I need to address. So Copilot sits there helping you with a lot of that. First of all, it helps you prioritize your inbox. It does look into the content of your emails and it'll help prioritize that. And you can configure around it. You can say, okay, if Copilot suggests something, it's prioritized, but to you, it does not look prioritized. You can help Copilot understand that it's not priority for you. But it will look into those emails, and based on content that it analyzes, it helps you prioritize your inbox. And there are other features that you'll see across where, you write something, but you just want to rewrite that. You can ask Copilot to rewrite that email for you. You can even get coaching by Copilot, where it can help you say, hey, your tone looks good, your grammar is correct, maybe you can say this word instead of this to make it sound more professional. So it helps with the coaching aspect as well. Let's see, draft emails. Yeah. So as you are responding to emails, you can actually ask Copilot, hey, Copilot can analyze the entire email chain, and you can ask Copilot, hey, can you help me draft a response to this email chain based on, whatever the highlights are. So I use it pretty often. I would say I do it majorly from just checking what I'm writing is correct or not. Teams. This is another area where I feel like I personally use it a lot. For example, you are in a meeting, maybe for an hour-long meeting, and for a few minutes you get distracted because somebody sends you a message on Teams, an email comes through which catches your attention on your desktop. It happens. It's a very real scenario where you get distracted, and suddenly you bring your attention back to the meeting, but you just missed a couple of words which somebody said and could have been important. So you can just go ahead and ask Copilot, hey, can you summarize what was discussed in last 5 minutes? So Copilot can help you do that. So you're basically helping you catch up in real time. As you're having that conversation, you can ask Copilot questions as well. You can ask Copilot like, hey, can you give me quick bullet points of what was said in last 30 minutes based on, whatever the essence of the meeting is. So you can interact with it in real time. I do it a lot of times when I have to, as I'm going, I need to just flush out some of the information, and I have to make better sense of what the person in front of me is saying. I ask Copilot to help me summarize it better as well. Now, post-meeting, I feel like post-meeting information is also important, where Copilot actually helps you a lot as well, where consider your meeting happened a couple of days ago or months ago. You can go back to Copilot and ask questions, just on that meeting that was recorded and transcribed. You can ask Copilot some questions against it to understand it better. Like sometimes I would ask questions like, hey, was there any negative sentiment that was expressed? Like what were the standing questions? Was there something pending? So you can ask all these questions to Copilot to find from your hour-long meeting, which you don't have to rewatch. You might remember there was a time where you had to rewatch recording if you were not in the meeting, or you just had to rewatch for some reason. So you had to rewatch the whole thing, but now you don't have to do that. So, Copilot is not just in Outlook and Teams. It's like I mentioned before, it's in almost every product line that we have. So, Copilot today exists in multiple M365 apps. So, if you're working in any of these, go ahead and explore it. You will see a Copilot button on the interface. Go ahead and explore it. It will have some pre-built prompts to help you understand how you can leverage it as well. Like you can see within OneDrive, you have option to summarize your files, compare your files. So you have these options within OneDrive. So go ahead and explore that. Now, I spoke a little bit about specific roles. When you have sales orgs, you have salesperson, you have marketers, you have customer support professionals. So you have these specific roles within companies. Now, beyond using everyday Outlook teams, they have their specific jobs. Like as a salesperson, you have this system where you have to maintain your CRM records, you have to maintain customer records, you have to maintain your activities. You have all these things that you have to do for your business. That's where comes role-based Copilot in picture, which is something that works with your business application, and something is actually even within the business application. Like we have Copilot today in multiple of our Microsoft Dynamics 365 products. And then we have these Copilots which connects to not just Dynamics 365, but third-party CRM like Salesforce as well. So it just like from a salesperson standpoint, you can go ahead and you don't have to open a separate application. You can just, as you're going through your work, going through your day, you can just keep feeding your CRM while staying in the flow of work because of this. So like you can see on my screen, this is an interface where within Outlook, you get an option to quickly create a contact in your CRM. So you're not opening your CRM in a browser and entering the information, you're doing it directly from Outlook. So that's the power of Copilot, where it even supports those roles. Like I mentioned, you also have Copilot from a service standpoint. So from a service role, like from a customer support role, it supports them in a different way as well. And similarly, Copilot for Finance also exists, which helps you make sense of your financial data better as well. Copilot in Power Platform. Now, Power Platform is something that is I would say this was a game changer when Power Platform came in existence. It just changed the game of building a lot of things, building apps. For example, Power Platform helps you build Canvas app model-driven apps. It changed the game of how you're building products, how you're streamlining your processes, how you're designing your background workflows, how you're connecting systems, how you're connecting to third-party systems. It just transformed that. Now, Copilot brought another transformation on top of it. Now, within Power Platform, you can take Copilot's assistance to build those components. So now, when you were building an app, you were basically, you were going through a step-by-step process of, okay, let's create a Canvas app, select Canvas app, and then you were like, okay, I need these buttons, and I need to connect to this data source, and this is how my information should look. So you go step-by-step designing it, and that the investment towards building that still took time and still needed a set of expertise to build it. Now, with the help of Copilot, you can get started pretty easily. Like you can, in natural language, ask it to, build a framework for you as you get started on building an app. So just interact with Copilot and ask it to help you build that. Like I can go ahead and, like in this example I'm showing you, I can just go ahead and say, hey, help me build this app which tracks this particular information and connects to this particular data source. So it helps me get started with that. You can also work with Copilot to create your flows as well. So you can ask in natural language what kind of automation you're looking for. So it will suggest you what flow you can create, like what trigger should work, what action should work based on whatever you're saying in natural language. Also building generative pages. So you can do that. So if I show you, let's look at this quick video. So you can, like in this video you're seeing, you can go ahead and interact with Copilot, ask it to quickly create a component for you. Basically, it's building out generative pages. So you can just interact with it and go with the speed, go with the flow. It's helping you build things in a shorter time possible. So as you can see, it's automatically generating layouts, controls, data bindings just based on your natural language prompt. So uh, the transformation that Power Platform brought, Copilot is just adding to it. It's just became more inclusive and accessible. So as we see this broader shift towards AI assisted development, Copilot within Power Platform prepares organizations for a future where AI and low code will work hand in hand. So it's just enhancing what you were already doing on Power Platform. Talking a little bit about Copilot in Azure, I did wanted to highlight this, and I wanted to highlight this consider from an admin perspective. From an Azure admin. An Azure admin has a lot of things to do, like even from a solution architects. Like they create a lot of Azure components. They are working with multiple workloads. Uh, as a person who consider is just getting started on Azure, or it's just stuck through whatever they are doing. They are creating an Azure components and they are stuck at a particular step. Who do they go to ask help? So Copilot would be the first step for them with which they interact, and they basically ask, hey, what can I do in this situation? So you can have that natural language conversation with Copilot to help you through those situations. So Copilot is not just there to help answer your questions. It's helping you perform tasks as well. It helping you get information. It'll help you troubleshoot issues as well, and you also get recommendations from it as you are building these component in Azure. And Copilot is going to respect all the controls that you have placed, like all the controls that you can imagine that can be in Azure. It respects everything. So it is ensuring that you have secure and permission aware operations as well as you're interacting with Copilot in Azure. Now, this was from an Azure standpoint. I wanted to highlight a little bit from a security standpoint. Security is important as well. I think it's the most important thing, And Microsoft Security Copilot is something that has just elevated the game. It's something that not only works with products like Microsoft Defender, XDR, Sentinel, Intune, Entra, but it can also work with third-party products. So it is helping the security teams in situations like investigating and remediating any security threats, hunting for threats. Like using natural language, you can actually look up a lot of information, analyzing anything suspicious, managing your security situation, troubleshooting any issues that it highlights you. So there are a lot of situations throughout security that Copilot is going to help you. Now, Security Copilot is a standalone experience or an embedded experience as well, where it will embed into particular security products, or you have a standalone experience where you can just have a natural language conversation with it to, dive into more just knowing the status of your security, looking more into, hey, if there was an issue that happened, you can have natural language conversation with it to understand what was that issue about, or even when remediating that issue. Now, I'll close. I know I said a lot about a lot of Copilot. Like I said before, every single Copilot will need its own separate session. But my idea today was to, give you a little bit flavor of almost everything. Maybe not everything. But I hope I was able to introduce you to some of the most important and interesting components of Copilot. And I'll close with Copilot Studio. I wanted to keep this last because Copilot Studio is something that's going to be a build component. So we saw a lot of things from how Copilot already exists, how it's already embedded within the products. I would say all of the Copilots can be customized, but in situations where you can customize Copilot, like you can build your own Copilots. First of all, Copilot Studio enables you to build your own Copilots. You can customize M365 Copilot to bring your own data. So the idea is it allows you to tailor how it's going to respond, what it can access, and even how it sounds. So you can make it your own. So in an enterprise, you can make it your companies, so it feels very natural to interact with. It doesn't seem like a product that is being sold by a company from Microsoft, but it feels something that's part of your ecosystem as you're staying in flow of your work. And I just put this slide. On this slide, you can see these are some of the common use cases that we have seen across industries and departments within those industries as how they are using Copilot Studio to build their own Copilot. And as you even build these, when you're building these agents, or I should say copilots, Copilot is helping to build those as well. Like on my screen, you can see I just asked it, hey, help me build a Copilot where I can connect to my ServiceNow system and I need to interact with cases. My Copilot is going to be all about just getting information from cases that's sitting in my ServiceNow system. And it already built that for me. So on the right hand side, you can see it already built that for me. It had all these prompts, pre-built prompts already built out. So I just said one sentence, it already did a lot of job in the background. So Copilot is also going to help you build these. Now with that, I think I said a lot. I said for straight 30 minutes, I believe. And like I said before, Copilot is just changing the game. It's elevating how you work. It's there in every Microsoft product that you might be using today. It's across the ecosystem. So go ahead and use it. Enjoy the product. It has definitely made my day better, has made me more productive, efficient. I'm on top of my work all the time. I'm not missing out on stuff, which I have had instances in past where if you're not looking at your data, you miss out on it. So Copilot is helping me stay up to date as well. So with that, I will take a pause after speaking for straight 30 minutes.
Thank you so much. Do you know how many Copilots there are in total in all the products? Do you know that?
Sorry. Was that a question for me?
Yes.
Oh, no, I do not. I did not. I have not counted, and
I heard
probably I should.
More than 200.
Yeah, when I was even preparing this deck, I was like, "Am I missing something? Was is there something that came out in last few weeks or months that have I not heard about it? Or because I specifically work in business application and Power Platform and Copilot Studio, so I don't get to know rest of the Microsoft stack. So it's a big ecosystem, and I work on a particular area. So I won't sugarcoat it. It's hard to keep up. It's really hard to keep up. And exactly. So that's what I tried to do. I wanted to segregate it based on roles. So not to feel the burden of knowing every Copilot. Know what is. Just try to go ahead and work with which is part of your life. Which is part of your role. You don't have to. If you're not a security person, you don't have to go and learn security Copilot. It's good to know what it does, but go ahead and work with Copilot where you're spending most of your day.
Yeah, so I think that's exactly what you give us with all the Copilots in the different kind of areas. So it's awesome. Thank you so much.
Sure.
I just one question: is there something like one use case you use every day?
Oh wow. I think every single day when I interact, the first thing I ask M365 chat is, what do I have pending from yesterday or from this week? I think that's something, like all these years I have been working, there have been instances when I have struggled with, I shouldn't say struggled, like there were times when I would find, oh, I missed on this email. I promised somebody I'll give this information to them after the meeting, but I forgot, because I didn't write it down. So Copilot is helping me stay up to date on that. That's first thing. Second, I would say, I think it happens every day. If somebody reaches out to me and they're like, they're asking about something or consider something I did last year, and it's coming back to me. And then I'm like, what did I do last year? So I go ahead and ask M365 chat, can you help me summarize a meeting which happened last year or all the emails with this particular person from last year? So it just within seconds, not even minutes, it helps me, just refresh that memory.
Mm,
And you might remember how hard those things used to be. Like you go and search for information, you look for it, struggle to find things, and
mm.
then like meeting recordings, re-watching recordings to remember things. So
Yeah,
I
it's
think that's the biggest
yes.
part, and
Mhm.
where it has been helpful for me in my work life.
And when you think about agents, what kind of agent do you have for yourself?
Exactly. Oh, I'm glad you asked me that question. Agents is, I feel like we should have a separate session on agents, and
Mhm.
just talk about agents. First of all, I would say M365 Copilot has some built-in agent, researcher, analyst, and there is a sales agent aspect as well. So I belong to the sales world. So
Mhm.
without going into my sales system, I can interact with a lot of sales data just from that interface. And researcher and analyst is something that helps me research. Like I work with a lot of industries, I work with a lot of different type of customers, so before I connect with them, I just go back and I have to know more about them, I have to know more about their company. So those agents are helping me research more about them in a better way with credible data. It's not giving me imaginary stuff. It's giving me the legit stuff, and it's giving me that in the shortest time possible. So I don't have to browse 10 different websites or 10 different social media websites about that company to understand, hey, what are they about or what they're doing. So I feel like those are helping me in an everyday life. And like I mentioned, Copilot Studio is helping you build your own agents or copilots as per se. So we have in Microsoft, we have an agent like for HR, for customer support, for IT support. So
Mhm.
I had an issue with my laptop before. So the agent was actually able to help me resolve it myself without engaging a human person. And the HR agent is helpful for me to just to get to information. Like I don't have to again browse my SharePoint site and look for information. I can just ask it questions like things like, hey, like I asked a lot of questions when I had just had my son, and I was going through that postpartum phase, and I was like, hey, what are all the benefits which Microsoft provides. It's just a lot of information. So the agent was very helpful in summarizing that for me. So
Yeah, that's a good use case. I can imagine. Thank you so much for sharing all the knowledge. I think we
for
can talk
sure.
for hours about Copilot together because
Yes.
I see a lot of passion in your story. Thank you for that. And yeah, I would say see you next time again. I think probably. Thank
For sure, for sure. Thank you so much for having me.
you, everyone.
Bye bye.
Bye.